What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with? It is Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie, here for episode 58. Talk shit or get off the pod. Did you name it, Joseph? I don't know. I called it Steven Tyler Passes Through TSA.
That's better than what I had. I should have named it that.
Here we go. Welcome, motherfuckers.
Because I didn't want to do Steven Tyler, because I feel like if I did, you would give me shit for it.
Well, no, because on episode 10, your first episode that you you were just a guest.
Yeah.
We talked about deflecting an asteroid.
Yeah.
And today we did it.
I know, that shit's wild.
Hit him with the applause. Hit him with the applause.
Yeah, dude, that shit's crazy. The fact that, although we gotta hit him with the war horn, because what if it ends up like hitting, there's like a spaceship and all of a sudden we're attacked? Like,
what is the war horn though, by the way?
I don't know.
I listened to it. It sounds weird.
It's just some big robot beep. I was just looking for some sort of like declaration of war, so whenever we play the Cowboys, I can just like talk shit.
We could do better.
I mean, hey man, I'm spending hours looking through audio files, looking for like things. I'm ending up on lists because I'm like war horn, battle cry, and then like nothing's popping up but all this weird robot shit, dude. It's tripping me out.
You're on lists.
You never know, and you can end up on a list for anything nowadays.
I know, because you're black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was born on a list. They're like, yep.
That'd be sick. That'd be a sick ass memoir.
Mark it
born
down.
On a list,
dude. I mean, okay, not to get too deep. I don't know about dude. I don't know if I've even told you this, but I found this out like way years ago. My dad told me this, and so I'm adopted. Everybody, if you weren't aware, my whole family's Caucasian. They're cool. Love them to death. My family's fantastic. I was born in like a really bad part of Memphis, Tennessee, is where I was born. My mom was super young, and I was put up for adoption. My birth mom was a minor, was really, really young whenever she got pregnant with me, and she put me up
as a minor would be.
Yeah, no, but I mean, we're talking like on like the young, on like on the scale of being a minor, like it's like not like it's like almost like one of the stories that they talk about scenarios.
Right.
It's like one of those where it's like, you know, she was about to go into high school.
Damn.
Yeah. So all that happens, and she lies about my ethnicity to put me up for adoption. And so there's this family who lines up to adopt me, and they're gonna, take me home. They're like, yeah, we want this kid. And that's from like whenever she was pregnant with me, and my mom was Caucasian, pregnant with me until I was born. But then whenever I was born, the family who wanted to adopt me backed out and changed their minds, and that's because I was like half black, half white. And then that's whenever my adoptive family, shout out the Huggies, what's up?
Oh, hold on. So she lied, saying like you were fully.
She said I was white and Laotian. So she said I was like Vietnamese and like Asian, or like Vietnamese or like Laos or Laotian and Caucasian, and she was like
Laotian.
Yeah, right. What you're just trying to like?
Is that even around anymore?
Yeah, I think she's just. I think she was. I mean, anymore. I think
not as Laos still a thing, but like
yeah. Hey man,
they like term it something else.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But so that's what she
Laotian
said.
X.
And then they decided that like they whenever I was born and they saw what my ethnicity was, they decided not to adopt me at all and walked away. So then I became like, I always say like to my dad, I became a free agent. They were working the phones, and my parents were lined up where they wanted to adopt.
How old were you?
A month. So I was about a month. Like, so I mean I was it was nah, we're out like pretty quick. They were like, nah,
so
we're
like,
good.
So your mom, your like birth mom, like had planned this like before.
I think she planned to like. I think that she knew that. Obviously, she knew the ethnicity of her child, and I think that she.
No, I mean like she was going to give it up for adoption.
Yeah,
like
it. Yeah, no. Well, she was going to give me up for adoption, and I think one of the reasons why she didn't is this family lining up to adopt me from the beginning. So there was basically someone who was going to adopt me from the very beginning. But and I don't know how we talk about ending up on a list and we're on the story. But like,
Oh, that's interesting.
so then whenever they decided not to adopt me because they were like obviously racist, they're probably some fucking assholes. Then that's whenever they called around, and my parents had been on a list to adopt a boy, a mixed boy, which is like wild and unheard of for the time. And they were like, "Hey, we gotta remember this is like Memphis, Tennessee, like mid to late,
No, I know, but like
late
why
'80s."
mixed? Like
I don't know. Like, I don't know. But then
that's very specific.
they were like, "Yo, we got this cool kid," and they were like, "Yeah, well, let's sign us up." And like that's how I wound up moving to Southlake in the first place. So when you think about it,
we have this cool kid.
Think about this.
How old are
you? Well, yeah, it was a wild card. I mean, adopting any child is a roll of the dice, man.
No, I know, but how old were you?
Have you seen The Orphan? That movie's horrifying.
Were you like 1 month?
No. I was adopted by like 2 months, so I wasn't out on the market
okay,
long.
But how do they know
hot commodity? They were coming in.
How do they know if you were cool?
Yeah, two phones.
You're shitting your diaper. And you're like,
I don't know, man. I ended up being pretty cool, but but when you think about it, in theory, somebody's like ignorance and like racism towards like a mixed child is the only reason we're friends in the first place. Because I never would have been adopted had they like the family that lined up to adopt me, which is why my my mom chose to keep me, and then they backed out after I was born. So she told them this the entire time that I was born, like the entire time she was pregnant. Like, this child is Laotian American, and I came out like, "Yo, what up?" And they're like, "Whoa, what the fuck, goo goo gaga, motherfucker."
In the incubator,
yeah,
you were greater.
Yeah. I just got born. So they were like, "Whoa," they're like, "Whoa, yeah, like what the fuck," you know? And then so they put me out. I was a free agent, but I wasn't out there very long, dude. I definitely didn't clear waivers, and here we are. But so I was born on a list. Nobody even knew me. I was just a baby, and somebody was like, "Gross, get that baby away from me," and they left the room. What kind of bullshit is that? That's ridiculous.
We thought maybe they were just really into the Laotian experience.
Nah, bro, I don't know about that, dude.
We're gonna go out to like the southeast.
But it worked out. It worked out.
Wherever Laos is.
So shout out. Do you want me to give a clap? Shout out my parents. Being very progressive. But yeah, dude, isn't that shit? When my dad told me that, I found that out I was like 25, 26.
Yesterday.
No, but it was like much later, and I was. Dad's like a vault. He doesn't really pass out many secrets.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be tough for people who adopt children who are when do we tell them
well, there wasn't
it's
I knew pretty quickly that I was adopted, so it's
not that part, just just the different aspects of it, it's got to be.
When do we tell him? How does he not already know? How does he not have any idea? That's my favorite. Is whenever
his head's big.
It's the number one. It's one of the top 5 dumbest questions I get. Because when you're adopted, you get these bullet point questions constantly. They're really dumb, but that's probably one of the dumbest ones. Is well, when did you find out? Because if you ask you that, I just pause for a second.
I meant. I just meant who.
No, I know.
What, where, when.
Yeah.
Okay. As we do. We start with therapy questions. Sounds like we already went down.
No, but how are you? No, that just tripped me out because I was thinking about being on lists and then racist. Whatever, man. It's been a day. Yeah. How are you? How's your week?
Enough about me.
You're good?
You already know.
I gave you the awe. All right. Therapy questions.
Okay.
Already a good episode, man. This is already so good.
Yeah, I guess. If you had to guess, what do you think would be the most likely way you'll die?
Jesus.
I know.
What is that? I tried to put I tried to put light articles in here.
I'm sorry, dude.
I didn't read that one.
I have to come up with therapy.
No way, man. That's terrible. I've watched all the Final Destinations.
It's not terrible.
I read an article.
Cool. You can think about it. We're all gonna die. So it's
how do I most likely? I don't know. I don't envision scenario. I don't try to. I said, you were yeah, and you got this maniacal look on your face. Yeah, how do you think? I don't know. Hopefully in some epic way, dude. Something like a Red Bull commercial.
What would be epic? Well, you'd have to do something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so I get into
Are
it
you
late.
going to? Are you going to do something
Yeah,
crazy like
today. You know what? This is the day, and then this is when a montage starts, and I come out of it, and I'm, actually that's a shitty
that? Like
montage though,
what?
because then at the end
I wouldn't want to die doing
I'd be
something
like
crazy
base
like that.
jumping or something, but to
Yeah,
fulfill the
be like, okay,
prophecy,
well,
I'd have to die.
go fuck yourself. Like, if you're gonna go base jump and die, like, it's like, okay, well, what do you think was gonna happen,
Especially
dude?
the people who were first doing base jumping. I remember watching some documentary on this guy, and I was like, that is the most ludicrous shit I've ever seen. And they were like,
Well,
oh,
is
he
base jumping different than the
bungee.
squirrel suit?
No, yeah, squirrel suit. That's just like
That
gliding.
is like
Yeah, but I feel like you have more
you're
control in that.
going to die.
It.
Like that last docu. I don't know if it's the last one. Probably the last one.
I feel. Yeah, I feel like the extreme
but a lot of
skiers,
those, yeah, a lot of their homies were like dead, like at the end of like filming.
Oh yeah, no. There's this one I can't remember what it's called, but it's this guy. He's one of like the founders of base jumping. So bungee jumping's around the cord. Base jumping's where you like jump off and you like a rope. It's like I don't know. It's fucking like even more gnarly. It's like not.
Like a jerk.
Yeah,
like,
it's
not
fucking
even
weird.
like in a pleasant way back.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's like extreme rappelling, which just sounds like a nightmare. And he he left ropes
is this
up
how
there
you're
for
going
like.
to die? Is this it? Okay, we don't need to tell people about base jumping. How are you going to die?
Aliens attacking the planet, defending Earth. That's how I'm gonna go.
Believable.
What about you?
I don't know. Cops.
Jesus.
No, I don't know. Shit.
It's like you stole my first answer. No.
Well, I was gonna pitch that to you.
No, that's probably a bad idea, but no. I avoid them as much as possible.
I don't think it's gonna be epic, you know.
Well, I mean, what's the likelihood?
I used to think that.
What's the likelihood that people from our generation live to be 100 with the increase we've seen and how much like?
Well, they say the first person to live to 150 is already alive.
Yeah.
Which that seems obvious.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't already done that.
How do you come up with that, like math on that hypothesis? He has to already be alive. The man who's gonna revolutionize the sandwich industry's already been born. God damn it! Like I don't know how that works.
I just heard somebody say like the person who is going to be the first person on Mars is already alive.
Who's coming up with this shit? We haven't even figured it out yet.
Scientists, dude.
What? Like this has got to be a hypothesis. There's no data. There's been no like experiment to see if this person's actually alive. Because we're not even that. We're not even there yet.
I believe them.
We're not even there
they
yet.
say shit like this.
That's absurd. That's. I mean.
Well, I just think like.
Who's coming up with this shit? The first person to have a sex child with an octopus has already been born. God damn it! And we've got to stop him. Like that's like. That's literally
child.
like that's just like. I think that's just being blindly optimistic and just like saying shit so people are like, yeah, like you know, like that sounds like a
100%. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, dude.
That's you know, I don't know about that.
Think about all right. Think about it this way.
I don't know about that, man.
He's
already been born.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, cause like were people living to like 100 back in the day? Like, you know, like wasn't.
It's not like that's something you can see. Oh, you there?
Right?
Like you can see like what I'm saying is like whenever Bill Nye the Science Guy is like, hey, you know, climate change is real, and we're like having all of these things, and you know what, we might have built like the car that's gonna destroy the planet for good. Like that's way more believable than some of the. Like I just don't know.
What, you don't think that the person who's gonna walk on Mars for the first time is already alive?
Maybe.
Like if we're going to do it, we're gonna do it like quickly.
Maybe their parents have already been born. If we get to that point, we're gonna do it quickly, I guess. I mean, so Elon's gonna.
I'm
It's
saying
gonna
like
be
we're either
Elon.
gonna.
So you're saying Elon Musk is gonna
It's
be a
called
lot.
talk shit or get off the pod.
Well,
It's like
maybe
shit or get
Elon.
off the pod, dude. It's like we're either going to Mars now or everyone's gonna be like, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Elon, I don't know. Send all of his fucking 15 kids. Like, who cares? You know about them? Like,
Like, I don't. Yeah.
there's no way he would ever do that.
You don't think? I think if he could, he would. He'd be like 150. He'd be the first person to be 150. And he'd be like, I made it. Red planet. Hey.
Like anybody needs that shit.
Look at it. It's all orange. It's burnt orange. This is actually really ugly. God damn it. This sucks.
And they're like, we actually sent you there so you could shut the fuck up.
Release the kids. Go get the emeralds. Go mine, kids. Go do like old Pappy told you. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
we
Jesus,
have
Elon.
like 3 minutes to live, so
Get out there.
like literally all of us.
Find me that lithium.
Oh man.
No.
Okay, so I guess we're on to therapy question number 2.
I made light of that dark ass question.
I mean, these could all be dark.
Yes, Jesus.
If a child somehow survived and grew up in the wilderness without any human contact, how human would they be without the influence of society and culture?
Well, I mean, we've seen this before. You know, like, I mean, that's like
Kind
that's
of.
like Tarzan, dude. Like the whole.
I know, but like, I thought that was fake.
No, Brendan Fraser is not fake as Tarzan. How dare you, blasphemous!
I thought he was a mummy.
And he was a mummy. He was a lot of things. He was a caveman.
Was he actually a mummy?
He was an Encino man. Well, I think he gets possessed, but then survives and comes back to normal. Anaxuna Moon. Hey man, the Mummy was really good. Shout out Brendan Fraser, new movie coming out.
Well, Encino Man is the shit. But...
Yeah, that one's really good. Or In the Army Now, he makes a cameo as the caveman from Encino Man in the Army Now.
Fun fact.
Yeah, in the food hall part.
But
no, they wouldn't be human at all because they wouldn't be able to like speak. Their whole like they wouldn't speak like a language really. Like it'd be a feral child. Somebody who, like,
yeah,
lives out
but
in the
like
woods.
you're like, are you like a gifted or special needs ape?
Well, no. I mean, you would just be like, there'd be so many things that you wouldn't even understand. I couldn't like.
No, I'm saying like, are you like, if you're like in the primate, like,
Yeah, I mean,
are you like, yo, dude, this guy gets it, or they're like, yo, this is a fucking basket case?
yeah. I mean, they'd be a basket case. You wouldn't, if you came across them, they'd probably be dangerous.
No, I mean like with the gorillas.
Oh, they'd probably be like, what the fuck, too. They'd probably, it could be a matter of time before they'd
Oh, yeah,
fuck you up,
dude.
Don't fuck with gorillas. You get fucked up. Like, anybody, any crazy motherfucker, like, who decides to go out into the woods, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go live with grizzly bears, or I'm going to go live off-grid
Yeah, but they weren't
penguins.
born there.
They're with penguins. They're gonna. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not from there, born there. Someone. They're like, now you're talking about like woods people. So you're talking about multiple generations of feral people living in the woods. They would not be human. They would be dangerous. You would be petrified of them. There'd be ghost stories. Kids would lose sleep over rumors of these people at the schools.
I'm just trying to think of how they get along with the animals in
some ancient
in the
alien
jungles.
shit. They'd be like, ancient astronaut theorists believe the people who live in these woods
Well,
are
like, are they-
descendants from aliens, and they'd be like howling and shit.
Oh, like, are they like Mowgli?
Yeah, they'd be like Mowgli. Mowgli was chiller, dude. Mowgli was
That's what I'm
pretty
trying to
chill.
say.
His
No, but I
posse
mean,
was
like-
dangerous. Now he rolled deep, dude. A fucking panther and a bear fighting
Do
a
you think that they
tiger.
would be getting along with the animals like that?
Had a snake that was trying to fuck him. That Mowgli rolled deep, bro.
The
That's
snake was trying to fuck him.
come on, dude. Be
I
honest.
remember we were talking about making the villain gay.
Yeah, Snake was
Wait,
there. Yeah,
Disney-
he was kept like
Disney-
wrapping him up.
Disney doing
and
that? Yeah.
Wrapping him up at night, creeping on him. Dude, he's creepy
Eric
as
Hahn?
fuck. Yeah, he was
Kinda gay.
creepy. He was creepy as fuck.
But what's
bro.
his name? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, something like that.
Shiro
Okay.
Khan's the tiger.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
was a villain, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's trying to kill Mowgli. Mowgli's got a bear. You're not gonna beat a kid, a bear, a panther, even if you got a weird a weird snake with you rolling in your posse. You're not beating that. Baloo is a badass. And then King Louie was all about Baloo, so the giant orangutan was trying to bang the gorilla or trying to bang the bear. So that's like, first of all, what's this big ass bear doing in the middle of the jungle? That's totally.
Scratching his back,
That's
dude.
not. That's not his natural habitat, dude.
It's the
Those dudes
bare
not live
necessities,
in.
dude.
I'm
It's the
assuming
bare
that's
necessities.
there's a tiger, an orangutan, a panther. This
No,
definitely
I think there's bears that live there.
that Baloo's like a big black bear though, dude. He's not like he's like he might as well be
His
a
name's
grizzly bear.
Blue. He's like a blue bear.
There's no such thing as a blue bear. All right, it's a nickname, dude.
Okay, sorry. Shit.
Overanalyzing.
You're the one. You're the one who's saying like.
I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll today. But the roll, the dude, the snake is trying to fuck Mowgli, bro. There's no doubt.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
Creeping hard, bro.
Therapy question number 3. Dude, if your therapist is asking you like shit like this, like you should probably get a new one. You know.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, not therapist.
No, he calls.
Not financial advice. If you could teach everyone in the world one concept, what concept would have the biggest positive impact on humanity?
Say the biggest positive
I
impact.
know,
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It could go that way.
What concept would have the biggest positive impact on humanity?
Yeah. Did Jesus already handle this for us? You know.
He supposedly handled a lot of them, dude. I don't know.
Just like be kind.
Yeah, I'd say like
But
be
more
mindful,
than that,
being
right?
mindful of others. Like it'd be like being empathetic to someone else's plight. Like that's I'd say that's something everybody's, and as times continued, everyone's gotten more and more obsessed with themselves and obsessed with their image or how they look or what they're doing, and it's like I mean. Shit, even we do that, like in changing the setup and making sure this looks good and this looks crisp, is because like we all, like everybody cares about that in some sort of way,
Right, but that's always existed though. Like that's why mirrors exist.
yeah, no, but I mean, there's you can do that, but also still like try to be, like I said, be there for others, care for other people, and put forth the effort to be there for other people, and like take other people into consideration when you make decisions. There's times in our lives.
You think we're losing that?
I think so. I think that a lot of people are. I think that more people care about the direction they're going or what they want out of life or where they're heading.
You think like on an accelerated level?
I wouldn't say accelerated. I think it's been a gradual thing. I think that it's just become more mainstreamed and like socially acceptable to be that way. It's more of a compliment than it would be a deterrent nowadays. And for people that's why some people are noticing it more, is because it's become like an actual part of society, as opposed to like, oh, that chick's obsessed with herself, blah 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 blah. It'd be like, or that dude's like all obsessed with himself. Those guys now can create have a platforms where they can create massive things where it's just like, hey, look at my feet. If you're obsessed with your feet, you could make a feet page if you want. There's so many outlets for people to like, kind of like obsess over themselves in some sort of way. So I think that people forget what it's like for other people. Or if have power or have some sort of control over people, you can lose sight of like the issues that other people have in their lives. Why I always tell people like, hey, if there's something going on, like you don't got to tell me everything that's going on, but keep me in the loop so that I know. So if you've got something going on outside of here that's gonna make your day rougher or you more quiet or something, that I could take that into consideration. And I just don't think you're like walking around being a dick, and that's because I care about the people that work for me or I work with. And I think that's something that we as society slowly lost sight of, is like caring for other people in like a genuine way, not like what can I get out of this,
Yeah, it's kind of like it sounds corny, like we're just like family first, shit like that. Like we're just like, okay, you didn't get to choose your family necessarily, but it's like, actually that's like really meaningful, like like to have that, like like touchstone or something, you can rely on, when shit pops off,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that's really big that a lot of people should learn, that I've had to learn, and I don't mean this to sound corny as fuck either, but I think that in some ways your family is also exists and is in your life to teach you lessons that better prepare you for the outside world when it comes to things like forgiveness and patience, like, because you love your family unconditionally and you can't choose your family, right? So it's like you have to learn these things and like then go out there and practice them in the real world. And some
Yeah.
people don't like actually try to do that or apply those things to their life in a certain way. Not that, like they don't really take it seriously when it comes to that, even with their own family. So then,
They like take it for granted.
yeah, so then it's really difficult for them outside that realm. It makes it, more difficult for them to forgive other people or be more patient with others. You can't expect yourself from other people. That's an old cheesy saying, but it's super fucking true. I always tell people what would make you a good, like, what would make you a good, like, co-captain or something like that wouldn't necessarily make you the best captain. Like there's certain things, like you could be, a good sergeant, but not the best like general or chief of police, like, because it takes a different thing to be like a chief of police, or, a real leader inspires others to want to become leaders, not just follow their orders and do what they're told.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
No, I know.
If
I
I
like
mean,
it.
but like, like I was, yeah, like leaders inspire other leaders. So I was saying, like, there's lots of presidents throughout history that you could say inspire other people to become, want to get into politics. Like you read up on history and you read about like my boy James Madison or Thomas Jefferson, or you read about Sam Adams, or you read about all these other historical figures, and kids will be reading about Barack Obama. You read about all these different people, FDR, who like had inspired other people down the road to want to become politicians and take up public office for all the right reasons. I was like, all the people that Donald Trump has inspired to become leaders are like not necessarily leaders; they're fucking bullies, and that's why he was a bad leader to begin with. Is the inspiration he's giving out is like to inspire more control, not more advocacy for others.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay,
Boom.
let's wrap it up with therapy question number 4. Did you just hit us with like applause or something?
I hit myself with a DJ horn.
If freedom is simply being able to do what you want, are animals freer than humans?
Negative. No, they're not, because they lack a certain free will that we have, and like a self-awareness that I'd say that they supposedly, scientists say the first person who's ever going to be able to communicate with all animals on the planet's already been born.
No, I don't know about that. But it was weird. Like the freer, I didn't realize was spelled like that.
Well, freer. I'm more freer than humans.
Yeah,
I'm a squirrel.
But, I mean, I guess we're assuming that we're not talking about like caged animals, or
Well, even if they're caged or not, I think that at a certain level, there's like animal instincts that take over, just like we have. But I think that we have, like, our brains are more developed than lots of other animals. But I think that elephants have more, like, would probably be more free than us. But they still live in some sort of like societal structure and
prison of their own mind.
Well, but not necessarily. I mean, they live their best lives. They do their thing when they're not fucked with. Like, dolphins are really
That's what I'm saying.
highly
Like, let's
intelligent.
just assume that we're just saying, like, assume they're not fucked with.
Yeah, then I mean, I would say that they, in some ways, they would be more freer, but they'd still have some sort of structure and hierarchy because they have that intelligence level. So if you get to a certain level of intelligence, I think it's mostly instincts, and it's things that they do that are reactionary that they almost can't help. They're like involuntary.
Yeah.
Like if you get attacked by a bear, they say like lay down and play dead, don't run, because it's like if you run, its instinct is to chase and kill you. That's like what it does. Prey runs. Prey doesn't lay down flat or make loud noises and get big, and that's what confuses them. And that's it. Strictly instinct. Not to say they're not intelligent, but not at the same level, right? So in that way, they lose some free will. You could want to hit somebody in the face and not. I don't know if a bear is like, I really want to hit you with my paw, but I'm gonna walk away. I don't know.
They might.
I don't know. That'd be cute. That'd be cute as fuck. I'd be like, hell yeah, but I doubt that's
It's
the case.
I'm gonna let this one slide.
Dude, I'm just dropping clips today, dude. But no, I do think that yeah, no, humans are definitely have a more freedom than
because
we have just more
because
intelligence.
of because of our like able to like
Control and manipulate our
discretion.
environment. Yeah, or control and manipulate our environment to make it be what we want it to be. As where some of them can do it, but if a beaver wants to build a dam, it's way different than if like I want to build a dam because a Hoover Dam's huge.
Depends who's building it.
Harnesses, yeah, but I think like harnesses energy. There's all
Okay.
these other things that beavers aren't doing right now, unless
I know,
beavers
but
are.
we only got the idea from beavers.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, if I don't know, but I don't think they have like hydroelectric pumps and shit hooked up. That'd be badass if they did.
What,
If
a
so,
beaver?
if show shout out beavers, DJ horn.
No,
Like,
kill those beavers if
no,
they're
dude,
doing
beavers
that.
are nice. They're chill. Leave them alone.
Dude, I'm down to eat a beaver. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. We kind of already covered the first article, which was just shout out NASA.
Well, how am I gonna bring it up? Because on mine, I got I got a little thingy-mabob where it talks about the beep beep beep. It has a little diagram. But yeah, so NASA decided to like launch a satellite. Like that's pretty crazy. What was it? 15,000 miles an hour is what they said they shot it at.
See, like when it comes to shit like that, like you could tell me 150 million, miles an hour, and like that means nothing to me. Like I have no way of like, conceptualizing it.
That's just random too. That they just like picked this one random, like they're like this asteroid. But there's like they want to make sure they can do this before something gets close and is gonna fuck up Earth, and they wanted to see if they could do it. Space is wild, man. Space is so trippy. It's too intense.
Oh man, space. Smoke more weed.
No, and just
Weed
in general,
tight.
just think
Weed
about
it.
It's just like that's so vast. You think about like 15,000 miles an hour in like the terms of traveling through space is so slow. That's a nothing in comparison to like how fast that asteroid would be traveling. So to track it and like pinpoint it and hit it, that was like over a $300 million spaceship just to shoot and knock it into an asteroid.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
What I was gonna say though, is it too early to know if it okay, yes, successful that we hit it, but were we able to actually like throw it off of the trajectory?
I mean, that I'm not sure of. I'd hope so. Otherwise, they're just like cheering, and it's like, but we kind of missed. And oh, that would suck. But
obviously.
But I do. I mean, I feel like it would because like it. I think it was all about how fast it was going, and I don't know. It says successful crash landed directly into the asteroid. See, this technology could someday be deployed and help prevent Earth from I mean, it'd be way bigger than that, dude.
I know, but like, is it weird that is it like cocky, like to be like, yeah, of course we can fucking do this. Like we need to test this.
Yeah, this is great. Today, NASA will deliberately yeet a spaceship into an asteroid at over 14,700 miles an hour to change its trajectory. So I have a feeling that they've definitely pwned it on changing the trajectory just because
They what?
if it's like no, like they
pwned it?
like yeah, pwned it.
What
they
is
moved
that?
it like pwned. Like that's an old GIF where it was it was this guy.
Like I thought that was like Counter-Strike. Like you got pwned.
Yeah, it owned. It got pushed. It got moved. It got in the yeeted. So somebody yeeted. So somebody threw. Yeet to yeet is to throw. So we yeeted a satellite.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just reading a tweet that's got a video of what it looks like, and it's a diagram, and it just says NASA will deliberately yeet. I was explaining what it was.
Yeet?
Yeah.
Why do we need new terms for this?
Dude, it's not for us. It's for the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, NASA love the kids.
I mean, the first person ever.
NASA love the kids, dude. They yeeted a satellite.
The first person
and
to
pwned. Well, that's throwbacks, but I'm going pwned because I'm old school. I'm an old head, as they'd say.
Well, I remember pwned.
Yeah.
But I remember being confused by it.
But if the math dudes are telling me that they're going to shoot this like $250 million thing out of rock in space, and this is how fast it needs to go to move it, I'm trusting the science guys.
Yeah, me too.
Because there's some math behind that. That's there's not
It's
some.
the same
It's
guy
not
telling
some.
us.
I know, but it's not a wild proclamation. They have to like actually build this thing and do it.
Yeah.
We can watch it on video. I can't watch the first man that turns 150 on video right now.
We'll just like 3D print it. Okay. You want to start us off with the next article?
3D. All right. Article number 2. Get out of here. In dozens of lawsuits, parents blame Meta, TikTok for hooking kids. This was pretty interesting. Plaintiffs in more than 70 lawsuits say Silicon Valley's algorithms are causing real-world harm.
Shocker.
Yeah, I was reading this, and the first thing I'm like is like, where the fuck are these kids' parents? Now, I don't have kids. I know I say that all the time, and you give me shit for it, but I don't, and I don't know where the fuck these kids are, or their parents are. So it talks about how a 16-year-old in Utah became obsessed with her body image, getting hooked on Instagram, and developed eating disorders. Or a boy in Michigan watched YouTube videos for several hours a day at age 9, and binging on TikTok and Snapchat. Ended up sending an inappropriate picture of himself to someone. Like, but I mean, that's like, why is your 9-year-old?
Can I get out of this? Like, because it's not as easy as like, where are your parents? Like, come on, dude. Like, think about like the porn that we were watching when we were super young. Like, it's not like our parents were bad parents.
No, but it was. Oh, but I mean, you can't even compare the two, because if we wanted to like do something like that, it's like you had to go sneak into a whole nother room in the house that with some internet that was loud as fuck. The chances of you getting caught were so astronomically high, and
that's what made it so much more fun.
But I'm saying, like, why does your 9-year-old have a cell phone with unlimited access with all these different apps and is on TikTok? Just what you're allowing. No, because that's what I'm saying is the parent, and I'm not trying to blame these people's parents, because like, I mean, I'm not trying to say that like it's 100% their fault, but like you can't if you have a kid and you're allowing your child to have a phone that late at night to where he's not going to sleep at 9 and he's just watching TikToks, like, being the adult, you should be the person that steps in the room. It's like, hey, give me the fucking phone. Like, you can't, like, at some point.
But what if you're like at work?
But that's staying up all night. Then your kid.
I'm saying, like, what if you're working like at night? Like, your life is tough.
If your life is that tough, and
I guess then you're probably not like.
You shouldn't be giving your 9-year-old a unlimited phone plan with data. That might be. Yeah. That shit's not expensive.
You might not need the third.
Yeah, you might not need the extra phone. Like, just rock yours and maybe save some money. If it's things like that.
Well, could we not blame the victim here?
I'm just saying. Obviously, the algorithms, and like in this, they talk about how the parents have issues with the algorithms, how it's targeted, and I do agree with that. But what I'm saying is, some of these examples, like my 9-year-old's on his phone all night, not sleeping, watching TikToks. It's like, why don't you take the phone? I feel like that's what Dr. Phil would say. Take the phone. Why haven't you taken the phone from him yet? You're the adult. Go in there and get the phone. I feel like that's exactly what
but I know, but it's like bigger than that. It's like, even if it's not like, like late at night, it's just like the algorithms, like even if they're on there like a reasonable amount.
Oh no, I mean, I definitely think that social media for kids at such a young age is definitely damaging. It would have been damaging to us if we had that ability.
No, we got so lucky.
Yeah, we dodged that bullet real hard.
Like, very close.
Like, oh, super close, man, super close. But no, I understand. I'm not trying to like necessarily blame the parents, but it's like, it seems like these kids.
Do you think
kids don't have boundaries? It's more of a boundaries issue with kids and people wanting to be like. I mean, like I said, I don't. Well,
this is the thing. It's like it's none of these companies are regulated, so this is like the only way to hold them accountable. Because, like, I forget what the law is, like, but it's just like they're not like held as media companies, so they're not responsible.
But it's like, oh, my kid's addicted. My kid dropped out of high school and only wants to play Oculus. I'm gonna sue Oculus.
No, but if Oculus had like, like really like was showing you like Al Qaeda shit,
I'm sure you could look it up and watch it on one of those things if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, you can't, like, it's not regulated. Like, they can't be held liable for that, which is insane. Because like, if like ABC News was showing just like Al Qaeda like fetish porn, they would get fucking, you know, slapped.
Yeah, but like, there's people suing YouTube because their kids are watching too many YouTube videos. It's like,
Yeah,
then don't allow your kids on YouTube to watch videos all day. Like, at some point, you're enabling your kid to do that, man. You are. That's like,
I agree. There needs to be a balance, but it can't be like predatory.
no, it can't
Like,
be predatory. And obviously, I mean, if they want to do that to the adults, you predatory all day. Be whatever the fuck you want. You've already made that clear. They can do that, but leave the kids alone.
the kids are not all right.
The first kid that's gonna win a lawsuit against TikTok. Sorry, I was stopped doing that. Has already been born. God damn it. That's my. I'm digging that voice. I don't know.
Hopefully.
I don't know what that voice is. It's like, I don't know if it's evil.
Either.
I don't know if it's evil or good, but it's powerful. God damn it. Shit.
Yeah, you have to curse like a little bit.
Just enough.
Like,
just enough.
exactly.
And you gotta clench your teeth. God damn it.
And you really have to feel it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just a moment. I don't know. It's like some raspy, like Private Eye or something like that.
Yeah, you like a lot of conviction. Nat Hackett.
Yeah, Nat. I'm Nat Hackett. Don't you forget my name. Where's my hat? God damn it.
Hey, shout out Nat Hackett.
Yeah. Let's go.
First win, right?
Anyways, moving on. That was epic.
Was it 11-10?
Yeah. No.
Sick win, bro.
No, but I mean, I think that, like, I understand that not, like, that they're not being held accountable. It's just, it's hard for me when these parents are like, my kid's doing this and I don't know what, and I can't stop. And it's your kid's 9. Like, bruh, I got friends that got some 9-year-olds, little busters. You pick them up and you're like, hey, knock that shit off. And you shake them a little bit and you put them down. When they're at 9, you can give them a little shake, like, hey, man, chill out. And then you put them down and they chill. But, like, they're not, but, like, if he wasn't sleeping, because there's times where he's on and I'm, let's say, I know, a real adult, I'll be like, oh, I'm playing Fortnite or something like that. And this 9-year-old's like up, dude, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he joins my party, and it's just like, bah, bah, like the craziest shit I've ever heard. And but I'm also like, but I remember trying to do that too when I was a kid. They just have more access to cooler shit. We never would have slept.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not.
But if I got caught,
they're not suing.
Yeah, their parents aren't suing. My parents didn't sue PlayStation because I liked playing Grand Theft Auto all night.
Yeah, I mean,
there was boobs in it, so they did sue about that. There was like, hey, there's boobs in that game.
hit him with the applause.
Oh yeah, applause. Why did it go? There you go. There you go. Applause. Hey, there's boobs in that game.
Hell yeah.
Take it down. Somebody call Nat Hackett. No,
okay,
but you don't think so? So you agree with the lawsuits?
I think it's fine. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't waste my time with it, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you can sue. Like, I can see why you'd want to like sue Snapchat, but if your kid's just watching like YouTube videos, just, you know, like, don't let your kid have a phone, or like, you know, put your 9-year-old to fucking bed.
Well, yeah, and TikTok's a little bit different because it's also the Chinese Communist Party has access to it.
Yeah, and Roombas. Just wait till they come up with the TikTok Roomba. That's we're done. That's it. We're done, dude. Nobody can stop us. Nobody.
Is Roomba even like a Chinese product?
I don't know, man. I just know that I had one Christmas. One of my
like Swedish.
One of my sisters, Christmases ago, was like talking about that conspiracy.
I know. I've heard it too. I
was just like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It's like they're not coming for us. We're in like Trophy Club. We're fine.
We have to figure this out, like, right now, because we're just giving disinformation.
That's true. I don't want to be a Black Mike Lindell.
Who the fuck makes this? So many. Who makes
Roombas?
I thought it was like it's an American company.
Well,
Which
then
kind
they're
of makes sense.
selling our information to him. All right. Next article. But no, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
they're like from MIT.
if I think it looks bad that Snapchat's like, well, hey, I know you somebody creeped on your kid on our app, but we should dismiss this case. That's kind of shitty. That's like, oh, we're gonna sue Epic Games because my kid plays too much Fortnite. Or like, oh
Yeah,
my
I
kid
mean,
stole my credit card and bought a bunch of V-Bucks and they won't refund me. It's like, lock your credit card up, dude. Why does
I
your
think
kid
it's
have
bigger than
access to it?
it's just bigger than that. It's the algorithm. It's like where it just like pulls you in and like in where they wouldn't have normally been
True.
looking at shit like that.
That's why it's good if your kid has ADHD because the algorithm can't pull them in. They have their minds too bouncing all over the place. You can't focus on one thing because the algorithm will get more refined, right, over time and show you what you want, but it never knows what you want.
I don't know, dude.
I'm telling you, dude.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
All right, next article. How to get rid of annual performance reviews. This is by Bloomberg, U.S. edition. Hey, no one likes annual performance reviews. Here's how to get rid of them. Regular check-ins are one strategy to better support and motivate employees. Hey. Oh, it's not even letting me pull up the whole article, son of a bitch. I got it over here. Well, because it's on Apple, but I'm on I stream everything off my big mega PC, man. So it won't let me in. It's all good though. So this is just talking about, this article is really talking about how, traditionally there's annual performance reviews where, you sit down. I know when I worked for a big corporate place, it was like every quarter you'd sit down, they'd do a review, talk to you about it. You'd see if you got like a 2% or 1.5%, 1%, or like no raise at all. It was really kind of shitty. And this article is just talking about how it seems that in the workplace, frequent check-ins, weekly sit-downs, or even daily sit-downs and going over things with employees produces better results. Did you read this?
Yeah, I mean, what constitutes as better results?
I think it's people being more motivated. I mean, what I've noticed is,
Do you want somebody checking in on the daily?
I think that, well, what is it? Good leaders are always like coaching up other people, so there's always moments to improve. So not like always checking in, but you should always be discussing, I guess.
I know, but like just like what if you had a shitty day? Like I don't need you to like tell me about it.
Well, yeah, obviously it takes some tact.
Yeah.
But I mean, just checking in. I think it said that with the quarterly, just 4% of HR leaders say performance reviews accurately assess employees' performance. That's really bad. Only 4%. So I mean, I think that when it comes to people, especially in management, like the more involved they are and the more of a say people that are in management have, I think the better the results will be. They feel more involved. I was rambling about it earlier, but a good leader like creates other leaders. You should be wanting to replace yourself with someone else when you move up, and you should be always like trying to get people to that point.
Yeah.
Not rather than just being like, because if you have a complacent boss, then by what you're doing, you're stuck at where you are. That's the top, because you won't ever get any higher because my boss is never going to leave and doesn't want to get promoted.
Yeah, because they're just chill. Yeah,
because he's just chilling. So either that, or you'd have to circumvent him and go somewhere else and make a different move or find another job to get that opportunity somewhere else. Most people look for another job because they're either A, not making enough money, or B, their work environment's too stressful, they're unhappy there, or C, they don't feel like they have the opportunities or growth that they want in the career that they want, so they leave. They're like, no, I'm pretty much doing what I would be doing here. There's no reason to move. So we take chances on new jobs at times just for the hope of a better opportunity or outcome down the road. And a lot of that will have to do with leadership. Most of the time, we just don't even realize it. Because if you took a job and you've been at a job for 2 or 3 years, unless your expenses change, you go into like weird debt. You're like, betting on corgi races or some weird shit and you go broke. Like it's really difficult for you, unless you go outside your means, to like not to be like, I have to make another $50,000 a year. You'd be like, hey, I'd like to stay with this company and grow with it, get promoted to where I earned that 50K 5 years, 10 years from now and be working, making 165K. If you knew in 7 years, you'd probably take that gig, but that's not like what we sign up for, we almost take a chance. And that really comes up to our leadership at the end of the day and what they want, not just for us, but for themselves.
So like, yeah, like check in for sure, but I don't even understand like annual performance review. I mean, that's like, I mean, what is that supposed to be like a chance for you to ask for a raise?
Yeah, I think that's like almost like a built-in thing. I almost
You
feel
just
like
take those. You should just take those spots whenever the fuck you want.
I feel like it's the annual performance review, like in some ways is almost like a Rooney rule, like when you get into like the super corporate places
have to do
where
it.
they like have to sit down with you and talk to you about giving you a raise.
Yeah,
Like they just have to. It's like not that they want to. It's all formality. They're like,
yeah.
oh, you're a top supporter. They have like
There's a lawyer like sitting in the corner.
3 or 4 different bullshit bullet points. And they love
and they're always like negative.
Depending on who you're working for. Like I'm very fortunate now, but I've worked for people in the past where that was the moment where they could like knock you down a fucking peg. That's the moment where I get to sit there and give you shit. And that's like why traditional annual performance reviews, they said 4%, only say that like that it really
like
shows
if you were crushing it, you would have already known.
Yeah, no,
like you wouldn't have to go in there.
Depending on the work environment too, you can look for the person that works the hardest and does the best job, and they might have the biggest difficulties with the rest of staff. Whoever else is working, or sometimes people, if they work hard and stand out, it's almost like peacocking, and people want to come for you because you're disrupting like the complacency of the herd at times.
It's happened to me for sure.
And they're like, oh, what does it have to do this? No, I have to work harder.
Yeah, exactly. I was like the new guy. And it was like, okay, well, this is just how I work. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, but they're just like, dude, like, it was going well. Like, when.
And in that moment, you wouldn't, and if you had a shitty annual performance review, they wouldn't even probably recognize how hard you work. It's just like mundane. I have to do this. That's why, at least if you do it and you're constantly like building someone up and you have like some sort of goal in mind for them, and that's the same goal they have for themselves, it almost gives you a goal to work for too,
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're really badass. I want you to take over XYZ whenever I move up. And like, because that'd be good for you and it'd be a good opportunity for you. So it's almost like you getting, moving up in a company or moving up in what you're doing in work is going to create other opportunities for other people that, you can help fill those slots.
Yeah, for sure.
With those peeps. So talk to your staff, be good, build them up. Don't be a bitch. Yeah,
we got more. We got more.
Hollywood. Effects artists say it's time to unionize. Graphic artists account for 60% of film budgets, yet the people who make them are some of the industry's last to organize.
I was so surprised that they're not already.
Right? And when I was reading about this, they're like, dude, it's like they don't give a fuck what they do to us.
But it's like, what are they waiting for?
They spend so much money on special effects too.
Right. Like who's like telling them not to do this?
Yeah, that's why I don't know why they haven't. And it talks about how people have like the members of the panel for She-Hulk, like, yeah, I mean, and like it's everywhere. Yeah, that's literally 99% of movies now.
I know. Well, yeah,
that's special effects. I mean, they should. It sounds like those guys. I know it doesn't seem like.
Do you think it's like because we can freelance and do whatever it's like, and if we're good, we're gonna get but it's like you don't realize like how.
Yeah, but it takes effort just to even get to that point.
That's what I'm saying. Like do you think like the big guy, like people who are cashing in the most, like, or like fuck that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that because I think you can cash out and walk away some of the budgets and some of the amounts of money these people are getting paid, but then that's all compartmentalized too. So if some of them are contractors and you're looking for the opportunity to showcase your skills on some big Hollywood movie that's big budget, the people that you work for like own your work, So if you're freelancing, that's one thing, but those big studios, I mean, they employ people. I'm sure they have to turn some sort of profit, so they're not incentivized to really pay their full share.
Yeah, but so the article is saying
Yeah.
that they're going to.
Yeah, so they're talking about union. It says studios have so many pictures in the works that they can that. He says so many
Are they going to
projects.
strike?
Yeah, they just simply can't afford to shun workers, and that there's more than enough money in the budget for them to offer their salaries, benefits on par with what other unionized workers are getting. That is crazy. That like you'd think that some of these guys you wouldn't have these movies or any of these graphics or anything without them, and they're getting paid more than like the key. They have worse benefits than the key grip guy or like the sound guy. Not to just besmirch them, but it's
Right.
like like what they do is like so in depth and visual and such a niche artistic thing to do that like it's so not that lights and sound and audio aren't, because I know they are. It's just different. It's like and the labor intensive hours, like man hours of like alone time building shit is really difficult, man. I mean, it might not seem like a lot, but just figuring out how to get all this stuff done, build this computer from scratch and get everything and it works and it runs and I can pull
Right.
stuff up, that shit takes time. Like
Yeah, so just give them fucking healthcare.
yeah, give them health care, let them have 2 poop breaks or whatever. Well, I'm just saying, like, it sounds like some of them are like, yeah, dude, you sit there and work for forever. And it's like they have a lot of leverage because, like you said, you can't really shun the special effects community when it comes to this. If you do, you're just like rolling the dice in a real dangerous way, man. Which is true, because then you won't have anything. They can all walk and go make like NFTs or BETs or BLTs or whatever the new digital art is, and they can fucking.
They might be. They might be making BLTs.
If if digital BLTs come out and they blow up, I'm gonna be so pissed because I just like dropped that.
BLTs. Christ coin.
Yeah, Christ coin. That's you, man. I don't know about that. That's like a Ponzi scheme. You gotta talk to Joel Osteen or something, man. I don't know. He'd be down. He'd be like, genius.
He takes too much of a cut, dude.
What is this goddamn coin?
No, I actually heard about somebody was actually. This is like taking off since they're not. They just don't have the branding. There's like a church who's like getting sued for this.
All right, last article. January 6th reunion tour. They're coming back, baby. Wednesday, January 6th committee hearings. Final phase Wednesday. Are you excited?
Final phase.
Final phase. Well, because I mean, what? Like Liz Cheney's gonna get kicked out of office pretty soon. Like everybody's getting like some of these people are getting. Adam Kinzinger's got to retire. I mean, Jamie Raskin's the fucking man, so he's not going anywhere.
Nah.
G as fuck. But
G. He's been a G.
He's I know, but yeah, I mean, it's just now he's really getting his comeuppance because it's like he's pretty chill. He's not, but now he's getting to be like a dick. So like the real asshole side of him, which is deserved, comes out and he's just good calling people out.
His son committed suicide the day before January 6th.
Yep.
And then that shit, and so he had his whole family up there that day, and that shit popped off, and they're like, and his like daughters were like, I don't ever want to come up like to the Capitol ever again. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, and then he was one of the impeachment like jurors or whatever you call it. But yeah, no, he's a G.
And there's been all sorts of stuff. I mean, I think since the last episode, there's been that big lawsuit that's been filed against Trump at the Attorney General's office. I don't know if you saw it. It's on 60 Minutes. I think it's tonight, 60 Minutes. And they're having this.
Is that yesterday?
Or was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday.
I think 60 Minutes is on Sunday.
Yeah, that Denver like Ritterman, what was his name? But he works at the White House. He was talking about how the White House, through the White House switchboard, called some insurrectionist while the riot was going on, while they were storming the Capitol. Someone in the White House was calling from the White House to one of their cell phones, and they know who they were calling, but they don't know who was making the phone calls, and so they're investigating that. But I have a feeling they know more already than what they've said.
You would hope so.
And it got brought up to Jamie Raskin the other day about the committee and what are they going to talk about, and he was saying like they brought up that switchboard phone call, and he's like, oh no, that's one of like thousands of things that we are aware of. I think they got a lot of information from the Secret Service. I think it's going to be pretty crazy. This is going to be a culmination of a lot of stuff.
When
there might be documents and things that they've tried to subpoena from Trump that might be tied up in January 6th stuff, or in this attorney general's filing in the Southern District of New York, that civil suit, because she's saying there might be stuff that we've subpoenaed that they had at the house that was tied up
well,
with this stuff.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like we're all focused on like the top secret shit that was in Mar-a-Lago, but it could be a lot of documents like from January 6th or leading up to it
Oh yeah.
that that weren't classified.
Oh yeah, and then not to mention, and in case people weren't aware, this lawsuit that's been filed in the Southern District is a civil suit, so it's just preponderance of the evidence or 51% true, that beyond a reasonable doubt. But if they're found guilty, it's like $250 million plus in fines, or that's what the case is for. But it also bars the Trump family and all of the children. So the three oldest children, so not like Tiff, your girl, and not Barron, but Eric, Don Jr., and Ivanka.
What a great day to be Tiffany.
And Donald Trump, and Weisselberg, and another gentleman, Conley, I believe, from doing any business in New York at all, and like basically dissolving the Trump organization as a whole. So if that civil suit, if they're found guilty, they'd be banned from doing any business dealings within the state of New York for eternity. All of the kids, and removed from the company, and basically the company would be dissolved. So that'd be a huge hit if that actually went through.
It's going to happen.
I mean, it's fairly inevitable. Not to get too far off of the January 6th topic, but he's inflating the value of his assets. He said he has an apartment that's 33,000 square feet. It's 11,000 square feet, and it would have been the most expensive piece of property in all of New York history if it had even sold for close to that much. And he's done this to multiple properties, and he just kind of got caught. People called his bluff, and it looks like he got caught. And the civil suit makes it even more interesting. So we'll see what happens. There's been 65 people witnesses have testified already, have been deposed under this lawsuit. That's fucking insane. And you got to remember that Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump organization, has already pled guilty to fraud. Has already pled guilty to federal charges of fraud.
And
within the Trump
cooperating.
And is cooperating. So that's why I think the cooperation, when they're like, oh, is he going to flip on Trump? I think it has way more to do with this civil suit than it does with criminal charges towards Trump. I think if he's found guilty in this civil suit and all this information gets passed to the Department of Justice, he might face federal charges in this fraud scheme. But I think that, if they get through on the civil suit and bar him and dissolve his family company, and it comes out that he's overinflating these assets, then, the bank loans he's taken off on all these properties that he's overinflated would default, I believe, right? To some extent. So then banks might be coming for their assets, which would be his properties.
There are, yeah. Yeah, dude. And like they find out like how much this dude, everybody already knows how much he's lied. Like,
yeah, it's not a mystery.
I was going to ask you though, like with the criminal shit, like, him being a fucking terrorist, treasonous son of a bitch. Do you think like it's gonna be like are they gonna like arrest like 50 people in one day? Or they're just gonna arrest him?
I think that a lot of the people that they were going to arrest are people that they're really coming for. They've already already talked to. They've already cut deals. So I think that.
Do you think it's like the whole? Oh,
it'll be like some succession shit. Yeah, dude. They'll just like
crime syndicate.
Yeah, dude. Just get knocked off just one by fucking one dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, Dad, I'm playing sad music right now.
It's got to be all at the same time, right?
He'd be like, Daddy, it's me, Don Jr.
And he's like, I don't have a cell phone anymore.
Who is this? I don't know who this is. I lost this phone.
I was at Hardee's. With Mike.
I was at Checkers with Lindell, checking out the new pillow. It's calling it our pillow. Yeah. No, I mean, it looks really bad. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of this information that's going to come out, it's going to be like the last big push. Anything they found out, any Secret Service witnesses, I'm sure there'll be some surprise witness. So it'll be like the ghost of Giuliani's past. And be like, I'm the ghost of 2002 Giuliani. And I'm a good person, and people like me.
I like mayors who don't let September 11th happen on their watch.
That's ridiculous.
that the Republicans would hit.
That's
The
ridiculous.
Republicans would hit us with that. Like if it happened, I mean, Al Gore was president.
Al Gore.
If he was president and 9/11 happened, they would never let us forget that.
Al Gore would have probably fixed global warming before that happened, dude. He would have like fixed it. He would have solved the world's problems like that, dude.
Or they would have just paid attention that to the CIA report, like that Bin Laden is determined to attack the United States.
Like Bin Laden's like, hey, this dude's been talking about like wanting to come for us for a while, dude, and like we taught
Bush
him.
is like, fuck it.
We taught him how to fight, dude. Your dad taught him how to fight, so he's like, no joke, bro. And he's like, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah, but also like those. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not even gonna get into that. Not even gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into Texas oil and the Middle East, but no.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. We'll see how many people watch. We'll see what information comes out. But yeah, the January 6th, the return of the committee once again. January 6th.
Is that your theme song?
Return of the committee. Oh no. Return of the committee. Oh my God.
Return of the Mac.
We're coming for Trump.
Okay.
Feel
free to steal that, y'all. Feel free to steal.
No, dude, don't you dare. No.
Well, like we'll get a cut.
Okay, yeah, let's clip that up.
Yeah, it's
no, I got some good clips that I got to pull out of this. I still can't believe that snake was trying to fuck Mowgli, but I stand by it. Stand by it. I had like a moment of clarity.
Let's close this out.
Yeah, man. And hey, man, go Birds. You know. And hey, we appreciate y'all guys. Number 58. This is actually a pretty quick one. It's only like an hour 10, so that's not bad.
I know, it was dense though.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of shit covered. We're gonna be doing episode 4 on Wednesday of Angry Black Quarterback. Mr. Schultz will be there talking about the bets and the monies. I think we both finished in the cast.
It's a sensation how it's taken off.
What?
Angry Black Quarterback podcast.
Yeah, it's
like it just started, and like I feel like it's got a lot of traction.
Yeah, it's doing good. And like people like Facebook, we got people watching. It's been a good time, and like we got it's a little bit different, and so it's been a lot of fun. I like the discussions and shit. So of course, Mr. Goody will be there. Me, Joseph 2.0. I think Elwood will be coming on this week again. So we'll have a lot to discuss. But yeah, we really appreciate y'all tuning in for 58, and yeah, man, just like stay the fuck out of trouble. Just subscribe, follow, watch, listen to our shit. And of course, go fuck yourself.
Shout out.
Recording stopped.
I can't do it that early, man. I gotta wait a little bit.
We're just like teasing him. Can I end this? Okay.